Hello, we're back again, and we're here with Krishan Lampley, the CEO of Love Corkscrew here in Chicago. And I'm going to let Krishan tell us a little bit about Love Corkscrew.
So I am classified as a negociant, so that is another form of saying a winemaker. So Love Corkscrew launched 6 years ago, and now we're in the likes of Mariano's, Target, Whole Foods, Binny's, definitely a lot of places around the Chicagoland area and the surrounding suburbs, but we're also nationwide. We ship nationwide to people via Wine Club and the website, so 6 years, over 100,000 bottles sold.
That is amazing, and that's not an easy industry, particularly for Black women.
Not at all, not at all. There's documented only 60 of us out of 111,000 in the world that do this. So
wow.
Definitely a unicorn in this industry, definitely difficult.
Certainly.
And there's so much work to be done, so much more to be done, but I'm happy to be kind of that small sector that has started this business.
So I read that you initially started, you were already an entrepreneur before Love Corkscrew.
Correct.
You co-owned a gallery called 3 Ps.
Yes.
In the South Loop, and there were flooding and some sewage issues, and unfortunately you ended up having to close the business.
Very bad sewage, yeah.
But at the time you had become well known for your curated wine list from the restaurant.
Correct.
And you even had a blog of the same name. So how did you parlay from that into becoming a negociant and creating your own business?
It was very difficult, actually. I definitely went into a dark space of losing a business, losing a partnership. It was like a bad divorce. It was really devastating to me, but there were so many followers of our brand, and there were so many people that I met, because I didn't grow up in the Chicagoland area. So to meet so many people when I owned 3 Ps, they all were like, okay, Krishan, when I'm dark and I'm sitting at home and I have the covers over my head and I didn't want to go out, I didn't want to do anything, I was days from losing my home. Because I had an SBA loan connected to the gallery. So they would always reach out to me and say, Krishan, we're about to go to a party. Tell us what wine to bring. Or Krishan, we want to celebrate our birthday. What restaurant to go to? And there were so many people that kept coming to me, asking me those questions. So I was kind of forced out of this weird space, this depression space. And I said, you know what? Fine, let me come out. And Love Corkscrew was birthed. That's the short of it.
Okay. So can you explain for people just the difference between being a negociant and a sommelier?
Yes, so sommelier is educatedly trained, and they actually have certifications to be a wine expert, if you will. That's a very, very grueling process, very expensive process.
Gotcha.
And it takes a lot of time to become a sommelier. My sector is a little more of the business aspect of it. So actually having a product. So a sommelier wouldn't have a product. I have a product. I have a UPC. So I am the one going to the vineyards, sourcing from vineyards. I'm picking out everything from the residual sugar to the varietals. I'm picking out every piece that goes into the bottle to make it Love Corkscrew. So it's definitely different, but we're still in this industry that's very, very small niche.
Mm-hmm. And so many people who are in either the beverage industry or the food industry would love to get their products into the major grocers and retailers as you have, like Mariano's and Whole Foods. So what was that process like getting that done, and about how long did that take?
Extremely grueling, extremely grueling, and still grueling. That definitely takes at least a couple of years to even be considered to be in some of them. It's not what people think it is. I like to say that there's so many people that come up to me nonstop and say, I want to be in a big box store.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be in a big box store. But I have to tell them, look, it's not like you're in a big box store and you're instantly rich. It's used more for marketing than anything, because there's so much that comes to it. And there's so many moving parts to it, from entering your items and UPCs into a portal and having to control everything. The stores don't control it for you. You control your own product within those stores. So it's very, very difficult. I'm lucky to be in a sector where they cannot return the product, but there are companies that I know who have had to pay the big box stores back huge amount of money because they had to do a buyback. That means that their product has expired. So if your product expires on the shelf, that doesn't mean that the big box store will still keep it. You got to send it back, and you have to pay them back.
Okay.
I just happen to be, in liquor where that's illegal. They can't do that, but it's not easy. It's very difficult, and I always want to say you have to be ready, and you have to be financially ready to do it, because there's a lot of money involved in do it, because you have to do your own marketing. Target doesn't market for me. I have to do all the marketing. So definitely have to consider, just slow down, make sure that you're ready, and let them come to you.
Okay. So what would you say, I mean, you have been successful in the, you've been in the game for a long time here, and you are particularly successful in this business, and it's not an easy business to be into. So what advice would you give to others who might want to get into entrepreneurship and in the wine business particularly?
Don't be afraid of failure, but also don't be afraid to get into other parts. There's so many, when people come to me and they say, well, they want to be in the wine industry, I know that there's so many sectors that are missing. I would love to have found more easily a wine lawyer, somebody a liquor license lawyer. It took years to find one that knew what type of license I needed. I would have loved to have had an African American woman or male or starting entrepreneur lawyer that knew anything about the industry. There's the distribution side, there's the supplier side. There's so many different sides to the industry that we aren't in as women, that I wish there were so many more people. So I would say do your research. I would say definitely work in the industry in some form or fashion, whether it be a bartender, whether it be working in a wine shop part-time, whether it just being an intern for Love Corkscrew. Really get deep into it because it's not as sexy as it looks. I'm not just walking around drinking wine all day. There's so much more to it. So I want people to do research, but we do need you. We need women, and we definitely need African American women.
Great. And so my question, just for your personal preferences. So if you were having your own dinner party and you were inviting some friends over, what wine would you suggest?
Well, Love Corkscrew, of course.
Of course.
But I would say my baby is my Cabernet Sauvignon called We're Moving On Up. I've sold out of the vintage in that at least 6 times now, and I just recently sold out, and I'm now sourcing my 2017. So I love a very deep, dry, gritty wine. I've always loved deep red, so that's my pride and joy, my baby. That's the only one I source from California, and I definitely want my muddy red wine. I love it.
Awesome. And you source a lot of yours here in the Midwest, right?
Correct. I source out of Illinois as well as Michigan. I want to support local as much as possible. That's another thing. A lot of local vineyards get a bad rap, or they're just not known. There's over 50 wineries in the state of Illinois that people have no idea exist. So just to bring awareness to that, there are some good wines in Midwest. There are some great, guys who've been making wine for a long time here in the Midwest, and let's support them as well. So that's why I try to support local as much as possible.
That's awesome. And tell us just a little bit about your bus tours that you do.
Yes, my Support Black Business bus tours have been amazing. We've had, I think 3 or 4 now. We're about to have another one in October 26th. And this is where we literally go around in a luxury bus that's Black owned, and we buy out stores. What does that mean? So we always are going to a Target store, because definitely Target is where Love Corkscrew is looking to go nationally. Right now I'm only in 10 stores. I used to be in 3, but I've advanced to 10 stores in a matter of weeks, so I'm very excited about that. But we look to buy everything off the shelf. People don't understand that there are several, actually I think 14 or 15 Black-owned companies within the Target stores that we can support. It's not about supporting the big box, it's about supporting the vendors in there, because we need to survive there. We are striving to be there, and stores like that can take us to the next level.
And it's been encouraging to see the number of Black-owned brands that have been coming to Target, especially getting in cap space.
Yes,
which is premier.
And that is so funny. That's exactly where Love Corkscrew is, and that has been a heaven sent. And there are other suppliers who are like, how the heck did you get that?
Yes,
and sure. I said, it wasn't easy, but I'm very blessed and lucky to have a great team and be able to produce a great brand that's colorful and whimsical and really attracts the eye.
Your packaging is
always
so cute.
The name, of course, Love Corkscrew, come on.
Exactly, right? Well, thank you so much, Kashawn, for sitting down with us. We really appreciate your time, and tell the people where they can find your brand and where they can find you online.
Yes, please, lovecorkscrew.com. All my social media is Love Corkscrew, whether it's IG, Facebook, anywhere you can find Love Corkscrew. Also, lovecorkscrew.com will have all my locations, so please take a look at the site, and I can ship nationwide.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.